I find the questions interesting because the assumption is always that socialism is a thing and it's static. I don't think socialism is a religion or something that happened which then replicates. Socialism is an experiment. It's a set of experiments. It's a process. We learn from the past. We learn mistakes that our various traditions have made. We try to find new ways to tackle contemporary problems. And I think, therefore, that we learn from the experiences of various places. And let's be clear, the Soviet Union lasted 70 years, which is essentially less than, I think, the lifespan of a person in the United Kingdom. Eastern European socialism lasted half the lifespan of people that live in the United Kingdom. Most socialist experiments have taken place in places of great poverty, not in places of affluence. Whether it's Cuba or it's China, whether it's Vietnam or Laos and so on. People in these countries have very bravely attempted to build new societies. And I find it very odd in countries where there's been no advance to any kind of different system that people become the best judges of socialism, never having really tried it. And also judging socialism from places of old colonial affluence, of places of great poverty, peasant societies that are trying their best to advance something. Take Cuba as an example. It's extraordinary. Cuba has been under an embargo effectively since 1959, 1960. And today people make statements about the Cuban Revolution. Oh, they failed this, they failed that. Not understanding that it's been strangled from the very beginning in the same way as the Haitian Revolution has been strangled since 1804. The same way, Venezuela has been under an incredibly offensive blockade by the United States government, an illegal sanctions policy. All of this has to be at the table. These are people struggling to experiment with new forms of life and not being permitted by the imperialist governments that you belong to, that you voted. It's the United Kingdom. It's the United Kingdom that stole Venezuela's gold. It's the United Kingdom that stole Venezuela's gold, not allowing Venezuela during the pandemic to extract the resources not from the earth but from the Bank of England to buy precious medical goods to take care of the Venezuelan people. So I think that we need to have some balance and understanding, my friends, some balance and understanding when we think of so-called actually existing socialist experiments. They are experiments. Nobody says we are religious about these things. If you have a problem with X or Y thing done in X or Y country, let's study it. Let's learn from it. Let's not repeat it. I've lived a nightmare my whole life. I was born and brought up in India. I'm a war correspondent in a great sense, as I hate that phrase. I've reported from wars conducted around the world, from Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya. Now I was in Cabo Delgado, Mozambique. Tell me that the Cubans fought those wars against the people. Tell me the Venezuelans fought those wars against the people. Those wars were fought by the United Kingdom, by the United States, destroying our dreams. In that context, people are trying to build something different. Let's have some respect for their attempt to produce a different world. Let's not condescend to them, please.